This is the K95.3 Sports Show podcast, brought to you by The Fan Zone in Wilmer's Candy Mall.
Welcome to the K95.3 Sports Show podcast. My name is Beau. As usual, if you like what you hear, please hit the thumbs up on this video. Also hit up the subscribe button so you can catch on any future podcasts that we have. Right next to the subscribe button is the bell button. Click that and you'll get push notifications on your cell phone every Wednesday that new episodes come out. Once again, thank you to the Fan Zone for sponsoring the podcast. We appreciate them doing that. Get into the Candy Mall today to check them out. Also, if you are on Twitter, check me out on Twitter, the K95.3 Sports Show. At K95.3 Sports Show is my Twitter handle. And I'm on there talking Twins throughout the week. Now with Vikings starting, talking Vikings also. So follow me along on there to talk with me and just check out my takes outside of the weekly program. We will have our Stinger Spotlight coming up later this episode, brought to you by Anytime Fitness. It's our last one of the year. It's Garret Rukes from the University of Alabama is in the spotlight, so make sure you check that out. Very good interview with him. Let's go ahead and see who we got in the chairs this week. Brought back Mr. Jeremy Goulet, the front office guy, for this week. How's it going, Jeremy?
Pretty good. Yourself?
I'm doing well, my man. I'm doing well. And brought back someone who hasn't been here since Viking season, but also but has been a part of the podcast for the last several months. This is Russ Gee. He runs the Anytime Fitness, and so therefore he has been the sponsor for the Stinger Spotlight. So before you say anything, thank you for doing that. I appreciate you doing that, Russ.
No problem.
So definitely thanks for coming in, Russ. How are things, man? You said you've been on the road and all over the place.
Man. Yeah, driving all day today. I got 6 clubs I run. Things are going good, though. I'm happy that we're talking Twins this time of year, right? Yeah. I mean, hey, so.
Yeah, no, exactly. I think I even mentioned that last week where the Vikings kind of snuck up on us.
Yeah, because everybody was paying attention to Twins.
Yeah,
we're looking forward to moving into Vikings by this point. Like, ooh.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and talk a little bit here. Twins last week and a day that we've been, they went 6-3 over the last 9 games since we were last on. Solid. I mean, they did what they needed to do overall against Miami. They did what they were supposed to do against Kansas City. And, unfortunately now they kind of ran into Atlanta, another first-place club that we're not used to. We probably should have taken 2 out of 3, especially with Barrios being the second-night pitcher. But every pitcher has their nights off that they just can't locate and they just can't do anything. Unfortunately for us, that was last night against a very good Atlanta team, and we lost that one. This is recorded at 5:25 on Wednesday, so the afternoon game was over. We got shelled on that one also, but with Perez, who's been just so off over the last month and a half, 2 months now too. So, as a whole, 6-3. I'll take that every 9 games.
Yep, absolutely.
I'll take it every 9 games. So the only problem though now is that we've got to continue to do well against some of the good teams. Yes, our schedule is super easy. Is arguably the easiest in Major League Baseball for this last part of the year. But when we do play the good teams, we have to do well. So, anything last week that kind of jumped out that you guys were really worrisome about? I mean, I couldn't really think of anything. Like I said, 6-3, not too much to complain about.
No, they really are looking like a solid team right now. I think with some of the additions to the bullpen and stuff last week too, obviously Dyson's first look didn't go well, but they also had said that they thought he might be dealing with a few, strains or something like that.
And then he is on the IL.
Right. So, I think there's always going to be that little bit of uneasiness about the bullpen right now yet. But other than that, I think we're looking pretty solid.
And since this is your first time in here, Russ, I guess just tell me what your thoughts of the season has been so far. I mean, obviously it's been a fun season, but what have your thoughts been?
We can hit. It's damn fun to watch. It's a heck of a lot better than the last few years, and I think a lot of people have a tendency to think, we're off to a great start. Now it's World Series or bust.
Yeah,
calm down. We're building a team here. The manager is definitely better than what we thought he was going to be. There's still some question marks with our pitching, are we a World Series team? I don't know. We're a contender.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm happy with the season. I'm having a heck of a lot more fun watching them this year than I have in the past how many years, and I'm okay with it. I'm impressed with the heart of the team, how they hit, their passion, they play hard, and I think the pitching will eventually come around. If not this year, it'll happen next year.
Yeah, so. Yeah, and that's why I take a look. Too. It's I'm on the same page as you, Russ. It's been fun to watch them this year, and we haven't been able to say that for so long. But like you said, on Twitter at K95 Sports Show, when I'm on there, I keep seeing these people that they still expect to that we have to win the World Series this year for it to be a success. And yes, I get it. Every team at the beginning of the year, their goal is to win the World Series. There's only one team that does it, but every fan base, everybody else expects that to happen, or wants that to happen, and they say it's not. But we've got such a good nucleus now. Yep. You take a look at just in the infield. Garver, you've got Arise stepping up. You've got Polanco, who they stole now with what they signed him for at the beginning of the season. Yeah. you got Rosario out and left. You got Buxton, and you've got Kepler, who we signed for cheap. You've got Sano. So we got Cruz for another year, and so it's the pitching will be fixed out. Especially, I think that's going to be 100% what they're going to be on this off season is pitching, because we've got a lot of free agents from pitching wise. But I've just enjoyed it, and people get so emotional over dumb stuff. Like we talked about Sam Dyson. He's been a great pitcher over the last 5-6 years. One of the better relievers out there. Yep. And then he shows up after we traded for him. I heard reports he showed up in the third inning of the game.
He came in there, and that's why people were kind of looking at like, why are you making him pitch his first? Like, let him at least cool off. And he did that. Yeah. The game had started when he showed up.
Yeah. So then you just put him in there again right away. It's like, did he even meet our catcher?
Yeah.
Did he even meet Garver? I think Garver was catching that night.
Ultimately, he's still a quality pickup. I mean, give him some time. I mean, people forget about the personal side of this, too. I mean, you think it's easy? I mean, to move your family from one city to another, get your kids enrolled in a new school. I mean, there's a lot of stresses that go into it. He'll be just fine.
And then we ended up finding out that he had a little bit of a nagging injury that he was keeping quiet. So that kind of makes me mad, too. That makes me mad that we didn't know about it. So that's the only thing I'm mad about in the situation is just how he kind of kept to himself about his injury. So, two appearances do not make a season, do not make a career. I have people on Twitter again just going off on him at first. A handful of them were. Most of the fans realized it's not the end of the world, but there was enough of them on there that I'm just going back and forth with. It's like, what? You can't just. There's another guy Joker today randomly.
Yeah.
Just. Get rid of Dyson. What a
2.47 ERA this year coming into the Twins. No, that's rose a little bit, but that's not a mistake. We're past the All-Star break here. I mean, he's a solid guy. He'll get it together. He'll be just fine.
Yep, and he was under 2.5 last year with his ERA. He had an off year in 2017, but all his previous years between that was between like 2.25 and like 3.5. So, I mean, he has been consistent. The nagging injury obviously led to it, the traveling around and all of a sudden being forced into a game. So I'm not worried about Dyson. Doesn't sound like you guys are too worried about Dyson.
Not worried about him at all.
Yeah, no, I agree. So let's just kind of jump into arguably the hottest hitter of all time. All of a sudden, freaking Nelson Cruz just, I mean, holy crap. I mean, once again, I always go back to fantasy baseball. Because before
I had him 2 weeks ago playing against him, and
I had him last week.
And then you had him last week. I was like, have fun with that.
Yeah, and
did he hit a home run today?
No, he went 0 for.
Well, I know today. As of yesterday, he had 13 home runs in the last 12 starts. Mm-hmm. So he's still got 13 and 13.
Yeah, exactly.
Home run a game. I mean,
we can take that.
We're doing all right.
Exactly, and it's like, it's just one of those things that, Oh wait, I was saying how we compare fantasy, And that's one thing I've learned. Like, I think that made me learn a lot more about baseball, playing fantasy baseball, because you see the stats and you see how long of a season it is and how there's the highs and there's the lows, and every crap player and every good player has those highs and they have those lows. You just hope the good players have less high or more highs and less lows. But I don't think I've seen that kind of a 2-week domination and ever before on it. Obviously last week, 11 for 24, 6 home runs, 14 RBIs, 2 doubles. So, I mean, he 8 extra base hits out of his 11 hits, 14 RBIs, only 6 strikeouts. I mean, that was just for the last 7 days. Last 14 days, he is batting .467 with the 11 home runs, 24 RBIs, 3 doubles. Now, once again, that was with those 3 games in Miami where he didn't even play. But, I mean, yeah, he's just absolutely killing it. It's just so much fun to watch.
Oh, I mean, it's a blast.
I love Nelson Cruz. Russ, what was your opinion on Nelson Cruz prior to him signing with the Twins?
He was one of those guys. He's one of those guys. Him and Encarnacion. These are the kind of guys I love to watch play baseball. And when they signed him, I was stoked because I knew he's going to do well. If he's the kind of guy that if he's not going to do well, he's going to retire.
Yep.
I love watching this guy play baseball. All I say is be ready to pee because the drug test is a coming. Yeah. You know what I mean? But he's awesome to watch, and he's a solid guy. He's a veteran leader. You can't say anything bad about the guy. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I love watching him play.
Yep. Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, he's batting .300 now on the season.
Yep.
And that's crazy for him.
For a power hitter, especially.
That's got to be one of his highest batting averages of his career.
Yeah, he dipped last year, 256, but no, he was 288 and then 287, then 300 the 3 previous years. But, I mean, he's already at 32 home runs. He had only 37 last year, 39 2 years ago. His career high is 44. I mean, there's no reason to think he's not going to break that this year.
Yeah.
No.
Unless he just totally gets cold.
And he may get a little bit cold here and there, but he's not the kind of guy. He's too good of a hitter to fall out and all of a sudden hit 180 the rest of the year. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
He's just too good.
Yeah, he might have a bad week.
Yeah.
But he ain't going to have bad multiple weeks into a month. Yeah, no, I agree. It's just been so much fun. I actually found, if you check out my Twitter feed, K95 3 Sports Show, you will you'll see I found a post from K-Fan, and I retweeted it the day that Cruz. What the heck was that music from? The day that.
You gotta have some fun in there too.
Right. The day that Cruz got signed, the people reacting to it.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Well, they were horrible takes then.
Yeah.
Because a lot of, oh my God, who? People are like, who? And oh my God, he's so old. And just going through, they're just scrolling through, just laughing my ass off at these people, overreacting to what is now, which I thought was a great move already. Like I said, it was a horrible take then.
Yeah.
Now it's just 10 times as horrible now. But if you can find it and check it out on my Twitter feed, it is hilarious. Good. It's a it's a good read, and you can take a couple pot shots at a few people. And a few people there's a few people on there that was like 11 hours ago, even though it's been out since December. But just kind of fun to watch. But enough about Cruz. We can't say enough good things about him. Thank God he's on our team. Thank God we have him for another year.
Yep.
Let's hope he just continues and just shit, it'd be nice to have him for 2 more years if he continues to play at this level.
With him, it's always been about staying healthy. I mean, I know you've had him in fantasy, and I've had him in fantasy a couple times, and that's what it's just. Yeah, if he can stay healthy, he's fine.
Yep.
But with him too, he's always had these. If it has been injuries, I mean that was 2 years ago. I had him. He hit a home run, and then he went directly on the DL because he fell into the dugout. Don't remember if you remember that. Remember he slipped coming into the dugout, and I was like, "What? Come on!" So it has been weird things if he's gotten hurt. So I think yeah, he'll be fine.
Yeah. Yep, no, I agree. So let's jump into Sano a little bit. We talked about him a lot last week, so I just want to touch a little bit on him. Beautiful game winner the other night. I mean, just the walk off on Monday night, against Atlanta. That was just beautiful. I mean, there's nothing better than 2 outs, bottom of the 9th. You just got a big guy up there that could just crank the hell out of the ball, and then
reincarnation of Kirby Puckett. That's what it felt like.
Yeah.
Just like, oh, here we go.
Yeah, just clubbing it out to center. And the best part of the whole thing was the pitcher, half a second after he hit the ball, knew it was gone.
Oh, yeah.
He put his
just crouched.
Yeah, he put his head down, and then I just love how the center fielder just started running in. Like he didn't even go back for
It was way back.
Yeah, he didn't even take a step back. He just started running in. He was like, yeah, this is obviously not coming anywhere near me. And then it ended up hitting off of the
limestone,
yeah, for the second level there. And yeah, that was great thing to see. Great thing for Sano because, man, the fans have just been beating on him all year. And so it's nice to see him doing better. I could still like him to do a little bit better with the average-wise, but if he batting 250 and hitting a bunch of home runs and a bunch of RBIs and striking out a bunch is what we've got, I'll live with it.
That's the modern day game.
It is.
It is what it is, and that's what most guys are nowadays. And over the last 33 games, he's one of the best players in baseball.
Yep.
I was just listening to that on the Twins today. This is who we thought we got.
Yep.
And he's only going to get better.
Exactly. He's still young.
Thank God we haven't. I mean, just don't deal him. Don't deal him. Give him another couple. We don't need another David Ortiz.
That's
on our hands,
exactly what I was
God's
just thinking. Like, do not have
give
a big
him some
Poppy
chance,
situation.
dude. The guy is ultra talented. I mean, in the Dominican Republic, they don't play baseball. They play broom ball. You literally hit a small ball, with a broomstick.
Yeah.
He can hit the ball. I mean, just give him some chance. Let him work his way into it. And now, look, it's blossoming.
And I think, and we've mentioned it before, and I definitely think that Cruz being around has definitely helped him too.
Huge.
Mm-hmm. I mean, talk about somebody just to if I was Sano, I'd just be on Cruz all the time. And you can tell they've got that friendship relationship because every time he hits a home run, that their new thing is that because he did it when he hit the game winner the other night, kind of like a little gorilla thing where he's going into home plate. So
it's fun to watch that
they're
stuff.
Going around, yeah, exactly. They're having fun, like you said.
They're having fun,
and that's what makes it fun to watch. But that's all we'll touch on here. Big with the Twins. One mention thing quick is we do have the 4-game Cleveland series coming up here, followed up by Milwaukee. So this is key. It looks like the Twins, looks like Cleveland won their first game, and they were winning the second game of their doubleheader. Let me check while I'm looking here. So we're going to be probably 2 games. They're up 2-0 into 7th. So we're probably going to be only up 2 games again going into the Cleveland. So, I mean, if we could take 3 or 4 again here at home, that would be huge because that would give us 2 more games and back up to 4. But that's key. The Cleveland series is going to be. We can't do worse than split.
No.
Right? We can't lose the series. We got to split or win the series.
I will tell you this. Even if the Twins got swept, worst case scenario, let's not even talk about it. But even if they do, this team is not giving up.
Oh, yeah. And
they are fighters.
Yeah, we still got a month and a half, and we still have another 6 games against Cleveland.
Yeah. We're just fine. And our schedule gets much easier after the next 3 series. We got, Texas after Milwaukee.
Yeah. Yeah, there's that.
We're going to be just fine. We're going to be just fine.
Yeah, there's that one, the Chicago, Detroit.
Yeah.
So we got 12 games, 6 against Chicago, 6.
Yeah, we better get 9 of those, and we probably will.
Yeah. So yeah. So it's we'll like I said, it's the Cleveland series is going to be huge, and it'll be interesting to see what happens with that. Well, let's just jump into the Vikings here a little bit. Once again, not a lot to talk about. I mentioned it last week, and it's still true now. Now that we're another week into training camp, it's just a boring training camp so far. Yeah, and
that's a good thing, Beau.
I know.
No injuries, no ACLs.
Yeah, exactly. Nothing to worry about. No drama. But they released their unofficial depth chart. The the Vikings did. So we'll go through it. And after I went through it a little bit, there's really no surprises on here to me. We can talk about depth because I'm trying to think. As far as I know, every starting position is pretty much, barring injury or barring just somebody coming out of right field and just killing it. I would say every starting position is set.
Yep.
So
I agree with that.
So it's more on the depth side. So taking a look, and I think, and I've pointed out as one of my things that's the biggest one is for depth is wide receiver. Mm-hmm. So they basically have the depth chart here. They have Adam Thielen as I'd almost read him as the number 1 guy in a way.
Yeah.
They got Thielen as the number 1 guy, Diggs as the number 2. They got Chad Beebe behind Thielen as the number 3, and Jordan Taylor as the number 4. Now, that's what I think is going to be where it's going to be anyways. If you asked me right now, that's going to be our top 4 wide receivers. Then they've got Laquan Treadwell at 5, Jeff Badette at 6, and then Zylstra at 7. Now, he just got back and started practice again after his injury, so hopefully Zylstra moves up on there. Maybe Treadwell eventually drops down. But, I mean, that's kind of what I had an idea for what the wide receiver position was going to look like, especially the top 4. But like I said, are they going to keep 5 or are they going to keep 6 wide receivers? If they keep 5, I think Zylstra might be in trouble. If they keep 6, I think Zylstra's in, and I think Treadwell might be out, with Jeff Badette being the other guy.
We get 1. Do we get 2 on the practice too, right?
Yeah, like I'm sure that Dylan Mitchell, the 7th rounder, and that Busy Johnson.
Yep.
They're both our 7th round picks, so I bet you they're going to hope to get them on the practice squad. So, I mean, that was the only surprise for me was that Laquan Treadwell was still up there. I think that's just out of respect because he's a 1st round pick, so they feel like they have to. I don't know. Other than, I mean, anything on there, guys, that stands out for wide receiver that you guys want to kind of talk about? No?
I'll hit on Treadwell for a quick second.
Yeah.
And I think because of his hands, I think people underestimate his ability. He's got great ability.
Yeah.
We saw it all year last year. He's wide open. He knows how to get open. This is his year.
Yeah,
it's either now or he's done.
Yeah.
He's gone.
Yeah, like I said, it's if we keep him, we pay him the same as if we get rid of him. So it's whether or not he actually proves to be on the roster. So it's going to be interesting. Obviously, offensive line is what we expect. Reef, Elflein, Bradbury, Klein, O'Neal. I don't see, once again, I don't see, that's not changing. That's our starting 5, period.
Yeah.
Tight end, that one's going to be, I feel bad for David Morgan because he's on the PUP.
O'Neal's our rookie, right?
Yep. Wait,
right tackle?
No, that last year, O'Neal, remember?
Yeah.
Last year. So, yep. So then at the tight end, obviously Rudolph is going to start. Smith is going to be there. Conklin and Morgan are going to probably fight.
Solid.
Because once again, that might be a 3. Maybe they'll keep 4 tight ends and 5 wide receivers, or they'll keep 6 wide receivers and 3 tight ends. But there, once again, nothing surprising. Quarterback, nothing surprising. Fullback, nothing surprising. Halfback, nothing surprising either. I've heard great things about Madison, and he's looked really well. And Cook, they said, looked well. Amir Abdullah, who is also looks like he's going to be our punt kick returner. I don't know. I don't see nothing, out of the offense there. There's, like I said, it's just boring. It's like,
that's a good thing.
I know, but it's just boring.
Boring is good. the Patriots are boring every year in the off season. I mean,
That's true. That's true.
This is good. This is good.
That's true. That's true. I'll agree with that. Well, let's jump onto the defense side. Hunter, Shamar Stephan, Linval Joseph. I think the backup nose tackle positions are the ones that are up for grab. Jalil Johnson and Jalen Holmes are probably going to still make it, or be the ones who do it. Linebackers, it's going to be Kendricks, Barr, and Gideon, and maybe Wilson. I'd like to see Wilson step up again because, he was solid last year when he came in for the injuries. Cornerbacks, Trey Waynes, Xavier Rhodes. They got Mike Hughes and Mackenzie Alexander. Mike Hughes, when he comes back, that's going to be the key.
This is a big one for me. This is probably the biggest excitement in this whole roster is, will Mike Hughes take Trey Wayne's spot, and then will we trade Trey Waynes?
Oh, geez.
The rumors have been out there for a long time about trading Trey Waynes. I don't think you do it unless Hughes overtakes him.
Yeah, I wish we could hang on to Waynes. I really enjoy Trey. Really enjoy him.
He's still not, and people beat on him, but he's still young. He's not a bad player at all.
And he's gotten better every year.
But is he going to be willing to suddenly, if Mike Hughes comes out and smokes it, is he going to be willing to take a nickel spot?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
He's going to be happy. So the corner positions to me are kind of the most interesting. Just kind of see where everything is. Obviously,
corner wide
Hill
receiver
would not be way down here number 5 if he wasn't
missing half the season.
Missing half the year because he's dumb. But it happens.
Yeah. No. So I agree. I think cornerback and wide receiver are the two the non-boring parts.
Yeah,
that are on there.
I would totally agree.
Other than that, safeties, we're sticking with Smith and Harris, and Curse was great last year. Mm-hmm. Punter, Wiley's there, Bailey's there. We talked last week about the whole long snapper thing. What's going on with that? I think unless Austin Cutting just totally sucks, I think McDermott is gone. I don't see why you spend a 7th round draft pick on a guy in the military and then work out of your way to get him to have him play without.
It's a lot of stuff to go through.
Yeah, exactly. For a guy you're just going to cut third week of the preseason. So, like I said, that's what they kind of came out with the depth chart. Not a lot of surprises.
Nope, not yet.
Like I said, kind of boring. Now, once again, knock on wood, hopefully there's no injuries or nothing like that, and we go fine, but
Well, the good thing is that everybody's still on here.
Yes.
We haven't had any serious injuries. You haven't heard anything, and that's the key, honestly, to spring training.
Yep.
Stay healthy.
Yep. It's all about definitely. It's all about health, and it'll be fun to see. Even though we're going to see all the backups on Friday against the Saints, it'll still be good to see those backups because, like I said, those are the things that they're going to fight. Those guys are fighting for positions.
Darn right there.
And it's going to come down to the last week for a lot of them.
Yep.
Of whether or not they're making the team, and that's what I think is fun and exciting about the preseason of football. But I don't know, guys. Anything else you want to talk about, Viking wise? I mean, anything?
I think we covered it pretty good.
We're just waiting to see, what happens this year. And there's been no injuries. We're cool with that. And I don't know. I mean, there's skeptics both ways out there this year. Some say we're going to be an 11-win team. Some say we're going to be a 5-win team. And hell, I don't know.
Yeah. No,
it's really hard to predict.
Yeah, and it's all on the offensive line, and it's just even though we're technically returning 3 starters, it's technically 3 new positions since Elfline's moved over to guard, and with the zone blocking scheme, which is new, and having an actual. So offensive line coach.
We're switching to the zone this year with Kubiak. Of course we are.
Yep. Kubiak, and I don't even remember the O-line guy that he brought over with him.
He came from Shanahan. So
all of them. Yeah, all of them. Yeah, exactly.
It's just we'll see what happens, and it's this time of year we're all winners.
Yes, exactly. But we'll go ahead and leave it at there, and we will jump right in here now to the Stinger Spotlight.
It's time for the Stinger Spotlight, Brought to you by Anytime Fitness in Wilmer, Litchfield, and Marshall.
And here we are now with the Stinger Spotlight. We got Garret Rukes here from the University of Alabama by way of Southern Florida. You grew up in Southern Florida, Coconut Creek to be specific, and went to Pinecrest High School in Fort Lauderdale. You had a killer junior and senior season with a combined .98 ERA. How is the high school baseball culture in the Fort Lauderdale area?
It's really competitive, in our district, pretty much every time, you go out and play somebody, it's more than likely you're going to be facing a D1 arm. Like, we played, there were schools in our district that had like 3 guys going to Miami, so it was a lot of fun with, the amount of talent that was down there.
Yeah. I did see that you guys had a solid team. 3 out of 4 years you went to semifinals of districts.
Yeah. So, it's kind of tough to get out of that. It's kind of everybody just beating up on each other. And yeah.
Nice. Well, after high school, you decided to go to the University of Alabama. Were there other teams going after you out of high school?
Yeah, some of those Florida schools, but really what it came down to is I fell in love with the campus at Alabama. It was a baseball program that I felt was headed in the right direction, and I'm very, very happy with the decision I made.
Yeah, awesome. Well, my next question was, why did you pick Alabama? But you took care of that for me, so awesome. You started off strong your freshman year, going 2 for 1 with a 1.65 ERA over 7 appearances, but then you ended up having a season-ending injury. What was that injury?
Yeah, I tore my UCL and had to get Tommy John. So.
Okay. I didn't realize you had to get Tommy John.
Yeah.
Interesting. Now that actually adds up some new questions for me, because I've never talked to somebody who's had Tommy John surgery before, because that's kind of so many pitchers go through that every year now. What was the rehabbing like with that? It's a slow rehab because it's a long.
It's a really, really long, slow process. But luckily, one of my other teammates, had the surgery a week and a half, 2 weeks before I did. So we were literally going through the whole thing together. So it kind of made it easier on me.
Yeah. I would. How intense is it? You basically can't use your arm for a long time, can't you?
Yeah. In the beginning, it's just literally the day rehab starts. Day after surgery, and it's just kind of moving around your fingers, kind of getting all that mobility, and it just slowly progresses from there. And it ends up looking back, it ended up going. Feels like it went by pretty quick, but it's a pretty long process.
And I've heard some people suggest that some of these young pitchers, young pitching phenoms, the top. I've heard people suggest that they almost should just have Tommy John surgery, whether they need it or not, because especially because of the hard throwing, because that tends to be part of it, isn't it? What would your thoughts be that if they're like you're the young phenom pitcher, and they're like, we're just gonna have you have Tommy John surgery, so you don't have to have it 5 years from now, type of thing. I don't think they should.
Yeah, I definitely don't think they should.
I've heard people say that.
And the whole throwing harder thing kind of comes from, that's just a result of the rehab. You have guys that who have had surgery that maybe haven't really gone through an extensive shoulder and elbow strengthening program, and now they're doing that. So that's probably the biggest reason for why people come back throwing hard.
Yeah. Okay. Well, interesting. Well, I'm glad we talked about that. Yeah. I've always wanted to talk to somebody about Tommy John surgery before. This last year at Alabama, you had, again, a solid season, 3-0 with a 2.21 ERA. So you've had good success in college, and you had great success in high school. What do you attribute that to?
Honestly, I've been lucky to be a part of, some pretty talented teams and have some really great coaches around me. In high school, I played for a summer organization called Elite Squad, and the coaches there just really kind of helped take my pitching to the next level. And now at school, our pitching coach Jason Jackson, who's a very reputable pitching coach in the college world, he's really helped me out a lot. So that's been big for me.
Awesome. So obviously after this last year, you ended up coming here to Wilmer to play summer ball with the Stingers. Had you played, obviously you had the Tommy John surgery, so you might not have, but had you played college summer ball before?
Yeah, this is my first time. So,
okay. Nice. How are you liking it?
Yeah, it's different. It's different, but I'm having a lot of fun.
Yeah, exactly.
It's been a great summer.
Yeah, you got players from all over the U.S. that you guys got to come together as a team.
Yeah,
And,
exactly.
it gives you that taste of the baseball culture from all over the U.S., which is kind of cool. What's been your favorite part so far?
Probably just being around the guys. We're a really, really close group of guys, and it's just awesome to be around them every day.
Yeah, that's what I've heard from other Stinger players in here, that you guys all really click together. You enjoy playing together, and I think that alone makes teams a little bit better.
Yeah.
If you've got that cohesiveness and you all like each other and you all like playing each other, it can make an average team better or a good team great.
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
you have that camaraderie for them. Well, you have had a solid season with the Stingers, also 6-3, 3.37 ERA. Plus, you made the All-Star game. How was that for an experience? I mean, there you're playing with the best of the best of the Northwood Leagues.
That was a lot of fun. It's just being on that field with all that talent there. It's kind of something special.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. And I want to say it was you, King, Walsh, and Portello, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Which now I've officially had all four of you on the podcast. So I've had all four All-Stars now here on the podcast. So that's awesome. So what pitches do you throw?
I throw a fastball, slider, and changeup. Yeah.
Slider and changeup?
Yeah.
Okay. How fast does your fastball usually get?
It's anywhere from mid to upper 80s, and I could touch low 90s.
Okay. Well, that's solid.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of where you want to be. If you can't throw mid 90s,
Yeah,
that's where you
exactly.
don't want to get too much lower. You don't want to be lower 80s.
Exactly.
So that's awesome. And who's your host family you have here?
The Blacks, Jay and Sherry Black.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. How was that experience? You like the?
Oh, that's been great.
kinda
They've
cool.
been very welcoming and just very, very nice to me. So it's been a lot of fun.
It's a great program. That's a great thing that they do.
Yeah,
for
absolutely.
that. That was kind of your background questions there. We'll kind of jump in now to the. I call them rapid questions, but they're not really that rapid because sometimes you got to think about it. So don't feel like you have to answer right away. If you have to think about it, go ahead. That's no problem with that. So we'll go ahead and jump into that. We will go with favorite color.
Red.
Red.
Yeah.
Favorite MLB club.
Miami Marlins.
You and all five of the other. I was wondering if you're going to say that, so I was waiting for you to say it. Oh, man. Well, of course, the Twins were just down there this last three games, and the new pitcher we had traded for came in. I don't know if you heard that. This has got to be difficult. He flew in. He didn't get to the ball field until third inning.
Wow.
And then they made him pitch the ninth.
That's insane.
Yeah, that exactly. Yeah.
Was that the game that they ended up tying it up and the Marlins won it in?
Yeah, because 4-1 going into the bottom of the ninth. They bring in our new guy who had literally been there for 6 innings.
Wow.
And he ended up not even getting an out, and then ended up losing in extra innings. And a lot of people have been really ripping in on Baldelli, our manager, for that. Because, I mean, we didn't need to.
Yeah,
we didn't need to throw him out
pretty
there.
Tough situation.
Yeah. So, one thing you can't live without.
Probably my family.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's a great answer. Favorite thing to do in your downtime?
Back home, I love going to the beach. That's one of my favorite things to do. Yeah.
I suppose down in southern Florida, that's kind of a that'd be us going to the lake.
Yeah, exactly.
Same difference.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If you grew up in this area, you went to the lake.
Yeah.
Well, awesome. Favorite all-time baseball player?
I'm a really big Javi Baez fan.
Oh, Baez.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. The one food you can never get sick of?
Eggs.
Eggs.
Yeah.
There you go. It's a good one. My daughter doesn't like eggs.
Really?
Yeah, she's 6, but she doesn't like eggs. It's weird. We keep trying. Hopefully, eventually, she likes them. But yeah, I was like, how do you not like eggs? Favorite TV show of all time?
I was a really big SpongeBob fan growing up. Yeah.
There you go. and then SpongeBob is one of those that, I mean, people of all ages watch that.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
it has that little adultish twist to it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Favorite movie of all time?
Probably Forrest Gump.
Ah,
Yeah.
nice. Yeah, we were just talking about that, my wife and I, and we're like, we got to watch this. It's been forever. It's one of those movies that you're clicking around on the TV and you come across it, you're like an hour into it, and you're like, I'll watch the rest.
Yeah.
And Shawshank Redemption. Those movies are always on.
Yeah. Exactly.
And you have to stop and watch it.
Yeah.
If your future does not involve baseball, what would you want to do?
I have absolutely no idea.
So it has to be baseball then.
Yeah, hopefully.
Okay, well, there's a few little quicker ones here. Ford or Chevy?
Chevy.
PlayStation or Xbox?
PlayStation.
Burger King or McDonald's?
McDonald's.
All right. Smell you hate the most?
Smell I hate the most. I don't know.
You know?
There's really no smell that's like, wow, I really hate that.
Yeah, you're walking, you drive in and you smell it, or you walk in somewhere and it just hits you. You're just kind of like...
Probably like, like burning rubber when a car. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good answer. I like that one. Let's go the opposite way. Smell you love the most?
Probably my cologne.
Your cologne?
Yeah.
You like the way you smell?
Yeah.
I got to bring it up because University of Alabama, I had Trousdale in here for the first one, and he had an interesting answer. He said that his favorite smell is the smell of the bat after you hit a foul ball. The ball.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I was kind of like, really? That was you're my last Stinger spotlight, and out of all the answers, that was the most interesting answer.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine what that smells like.
Yeah.
I told him during the game I was going to run out there and just grab his bat and sniff it. but no, awesome. So superhero power you'd want?
Flying.
Yeah, that's a good one. Favorite musical group or artist?
Probably Queen. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, they've had a nice resurgence, obviously, because of the movie recently.
Yeah.
And last but not least, your favorite holiday?
Christmas.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to beat that.
Yeah, exactly.
But that ends it, Garrett. I appreciate you coming in and going through the Stinger Spotlight with me. And like I tell everybody each week, good luck the rest of the year at the Stingers. Good luck in college. Good luck in life in general.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks, man. All right, and that was Garret Rukes in the very last Stinger Spotlight of the season. Once again, thank him for coming in. Another great kid. All of the Stinger players were awesome throughout the year. Very friendly, very cool to talk with. Once again, thank you to Anytime Fitness for sponsoring it. I appreciate them doing that. We will hopefully be having a Stinger season review coming up here in a few weeks. Time to be determined. So that's all I've got. Thank you both to Jeremy and Russ again for joining me for the show, and we will see everybody next week.